All right, hey team. These are some highlights from the game where I think we could learn a lot. So check all these out, and hopefully we'll learn from this, and then we'll be that much better next game. All right, in this first clip, the defense is too far back, leaving too much space in the midfield. And then you'll see that our midfielders lose the ball. They get the ball and then lose it multiple times. So there's three of you in this little triangle between the two center mids and the cam. So when you look for those simple passes to do quickly and crisply, then you'll be in the attacking third. And we'll see that later in the game. But check this out first right here at the beginning. See right here is a beautiful little triangle. Check it out. And that's a simple 1-2 pass. And then we're into the attacking third. All right, in this sequence, we have a goal kick. And first, I want you to check out our width. The two center backs need to be wider and deeper. And then our wing backs need to be all the way out on the sidelines, giving us width on both sides of the field. Then our two center halves should be available in the middle for passes from the center backs or the wings, whoever gets the ball. Without the width and depth, it allows their defense to concentrate on the middle of the field and put quick, deadly pressure on us. So let's check it out. Already you'll see their defense is very central, and they immediately then can put pressure on us, and we don't have any space or outlets. And so then after they get the throw in, look at their defense. Their defense is pushed all the way up. They have one defender on our one attacking player, and even he's pushing too far forward. So when we notice that happening, this is our chance for a big clearance, or if Noel gets the ball, a big quick punt up the field. And we'll see that later on in the game too, that we do it quite well. All right, in this clip, we're gonna see our first good attacking opportunity. It's a nice quick counter attack. So here we go. First, we put on some good team pressure. There's three of us there, which leads to Colin on the counter attack. The defense starts to catch up. Now look at the spaces. That's our chance to go wide with the ball, not to bring it back into the middle. Same thing here. After he loses the ball, the space continues to be on the wing, but we turn centrally into more defenders. Now this is a great play right here. The only space left, because their whole team is back, is to go back to Gustavo, and then he can then place it down the wing. A beautiful little ball. All right, here's the goal against us, and it comes off of a goal kick. Once again, look at our width. There's no width from our wingers or our center backs, which means we're very easy to defend. They can stay central, and we don't have any space. So then once the ball was on our right wing, we lose it, and our left wing and center midfielders do not shift. And so there's this huge gap in the center of the field, right at the top of the box. So check it out. Okay, here's an opportunity for another kickoff. So even though the initial ball doesn't go wide enough, they still struggle to control it. So let's run the film, and we'll see them struggle to defend it. And yet we're not putting quick enough pressure. We're just kind of just jogging up. And then when we do get pressure, they lose the ball. But the problem is our defense didn't push up with that attack. And so now there's a big gap, and here comes the counterattack. Okay, this is one of the last sequences in the first half, and it's a great attacking sequence. First, our strikers are up top pressing the defense. So they're not retreating too far back. Remember, we talked about our strikers staying up top, forcing their defense to respect you and to stay back, which gives our midfield more space. So when the ball's cleared, then the defense is immediately under pressure. And so we'll see what happens next. So we'll run the film. You'll see we got 3 people up top, the big gap because their defense can't push up. And now we're on the attack. It's a beautiful little through ball. And then another good ball out to the wing. And so we're using this space. And even though we lose it, our midfield is pushed up. And then you're going to see another beautiful ball right there over the top, behind the defense. Once again, keeping that defense under pressure, making them make a mistake for a corner or a throw in or even a goal opportunity. All right, here's another kickoff in the second half. And you'll see initially the front 3 put on really quick, good pressure. All 3 of them are pressing the ball. They're doing it together and they're doing it speedily. So we'll run the tape. Watch the midfield and the defense. They don't go with them. So if the ball had stayed in and we had had that pressure on that right back, he would have had some easy outlets. But if the defense and midfield had gone with them to squeeze the field, they would have been under a ton of pressure. And so once we do catch up, the ball went out for a throw. We do catch up. Now we're squeezing the field, and it takes them 3 really, really good passes to get out of that pressure. But most teams aren't going to be able to do that. 9 times out of 10, we're going to win the ball. And they needed 4 or 5 good passes to get out. And so you'll see, finally, one of them makes a mistake. And because of all that pressure, we're then on the counterattack. Another great sequence in the second half. This is us keeping possession and using our width. Our wingers are doing a much better job of giving us that width, which then gives our midfielders beautiful outlets and all of us more time and space to make good plays. So first we fight for the ball and are constantly looking for each other in those little passes in the middle. And then Doc Sean does a great job of utilizing his winger, Dylan, who has stayed wide. And that gives Dylan the time and the space to collect the ball, get his head up, and make a good cross into one of his forwards who's getting into the box to be dangerous. Great sequence. Here's another good sequence that happens just after that. This time it's a defensive sequence. Connor won so many 50-50 balls in this game, at least 10. But one of the reasons he wins those is that he does not allow the attacking players to receive the ball uncontested. They don't have time to look around or turn toward our goal. The pressure is on them while they're still facing their own goal. And then our winger continues that pressure, forcing a back pass. And then our striker put on more pressure, forcing a bad clearance for our throw-in. Check it out. So that great defensive sequence led to a throw-in for us. And then we saw a wonderful switching of the field. And so a beautiful job by our central midfielder, switching the field to the other side. But our winger stayed way too far over. They didn't keep our width on the left side. And you'll see once Shivansh gets the ball as our striker, if our winger had been on his left side in that space, it would have been an easy pass and a shot on goal. Instead, Shivansh had no outlet. And so he had to turn back into pressure. And then we lost that goal scoring opportunity. All right, I mentioned this earlier. This is a great counterattack that comes from our forwards staying up top. And then Noel doing a great job of recognizing that our strikers were up top and the other team, had overcommitted too many players into the box. So he does a great punt They make one mistake, and then we're off to the races. Now, their defense will run the table. Their defense did a great job of cutting off the center, right? They shut it down. But we did an equally good job of making overlapping runs. And so we made two passes into space on the left wing. And then once the winger holds the ball up, the rest of our midfield had a chance to recover. And so we got a dangerous cross into the box and had a nice opportunity. All right, this counterattack sequence, another good one. We've had a lot of great opportunities in the second half. This comes from our midfield changing the point of attack. They changed which way we were attacking and used all that open space. So we'll run the tape and you'll see instead of going left, makes a quick turn and then puts it into space for one of our midfielders, who then does a nice pass, another nice pass. And if that ball had been just a little bit more in front of Gustavo for that through pass, we would have had a beautiful chance on goal. A really good sequence. All right, this is the last sequence that we're going to analyze together. This is a beautiful defensive play from Will. It's beautiful because it's simple. He anticipates the clearance. He doesn't let the ball bounce. He takes it directly out of the air. He took a simple touch to settle it and then made a short, crisp pass to one of his midfielders. And that led to a great chance on goal. So it's just simply getting the ball out of the air. Don't let it bounce. Settling the ball and making a short, crisp pass. Simple, 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 but oh so effective. Even though we lost this game, I saw a lot of progress even within this game. From the first half to the second half, we began using the width much better. We began looking for the simple passes to keep possession and then utilizing that space that the wingers gave us. And we got some great opportunities on goal. So keep using the space. Wingers, stay wide. Center midfielders, make those simple passes and change the feel. And we'll begin to get a lot more opportunities and we'll continue to get better and better every game. Good job, guys.